This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. EV owners in the U.S. really love their vehicles. That's according to J.D. Power's Electric Vehicle Experience Ownership Study. It surveyed more than 5,700 owners of 2025 and 2026 model year BEVs and PHEVs, and 96% of BEV owners said they would consider purchasing or leasing another one for their next vehicle, which is the highest level since J.D. Power started the study in 2021. Owners say they're more satisfied thanks to improvements in battery technology, charging infrastructure, and overall vehicle performance. Among individual EVs, the Tesla Model 3 ranked the highest overall and the highest in the premium segment, followed by the Model Y and the BMW i4. Among mass-market BEVs, the Ford Mustang Mach-E ranked the highest, followed by the Hyundai Ioniq 5 and then the Kia EV9. And here's something that should help EV ownership. According to a new study from UK-based EV battery specialist Generational, EV batteries retain 95% of their capacity compared to new ones. Researchers tested more than 8,000 passenger and commercial EVs from 36 brands that were brand new to 12 years old with 0 to 160,000 miles. And even 8 to 9-year-old EVs retain a medium capacity of 85%, which is well above thresholds for automaker warranties, which are typically 70% state of health over 8 years or 100,000 miles. On top of all that, EVs with more than 100,000 miles retained 88 to 95% battery health. Volkswagen says it's going through a, quote, generational transition in its design department. Porsche announced at the end of January that its head of design, 63-year-old Michael Maurer, would be stepping down, taking his spot as McLaren's former chief designer, 46-year-old Tobias Schulman. But Maurer was also head of all VW Group design, and the company just announced that it's promoting Andreas Mint to take over that role at the start of March. Mint, who's 57 years old, will still keep his current job as well, which is head of design at the Volkswagen brand. While Maurer is still a few years shy of typical retirement age, VW says he's, quote, leaving the company on amicable terms. AlixPartners published its annual Disruption Survey, where it interviews thousands of CEOs and senior executives from around the world, and it turns out they're worried. 45% of them are afraid of losing their jobs, and 72% of them are struggling with all the disruptions that are hitting their companies. But some companies are thriving because they prepared for tariffs, onshoring, and other disruptions. And AI is playing a key role in how they're adapting. For example, instead of waiting for a human to see a delay in their supply chains, AI agents monitor real-time freight and weather data. If a port is congested or a shipment is delayed, the agent autonomously reroutes the supply, notifies the warehouse, and adjust the production schedule without human intervention. Next, automotive companies track demand surges like a trending part or sudden weather shift and reallocate stock across warehouses instantly. Some companies report reducing some freight costs by up to 35%. And lastly, AI agents are now being used to scan news, geopolitical sentiment, and financial signals. And when risk emerges, the agent can recommend alternative suppliers or trigger a what-if simulation to see how a tariff change would hit the income statement. There's a ton of info in that report, and you can read all about it by clicking on the link we have in today's description box or transcript.
Performance that shines, even in the rain. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza tires, improved grip in wet conditions.
Renault reported its 2025 results, and the numbers are mostly terrible. It sold 2.3 million vehicles globally, up 3%, and that drove revenue up 3% to almost 58 billion euros. But now comes the bad news. Thanks to losses at Nissan, a drop in European van sales, higher EV sales on which it loses money, and a number of other factors, Renault posted an operating loss of nearly 8 billion euros and a net loss of almost 11 billion. That's on a total company consolidated basis. Its core automotive operations posted an operating profit of 2.1 billion euros, down from 2.9 billion the year before. And this year will be even tougher. Renault projects that its core automotive margin will drop 0.5%, and its free cash flow will drop by €500 million. Renault's stock is down 8% so far this year, but it inched up more than 1% on today's news. Carvana, the used car retailer, just banged out some eye-popping numbers. It sold over 596,000 cars, up 43% from the year before. Revenue jumped almost 48% to more than $20 billion. Its operating profit shot up 98% to nearly $1.9 billion, and its net profit was up almost 40% to nearly $1.9 billion. Now, you'd think that you'd get a gold medal for that kind of performance, but not in the investment community. It was expecting a lot more, and Carvana's stock dropped 26% in pre-market trading. Toyota discontinued the CHR in 2022, but it's coming back as an all-electric vehicle based on the newest version of the automaker's e-TNGA platform. In the US, the model is available with one battery size, just under 75 kilowatt hours, and comes standard with all-wheel drive. EPA range is estimated to come in at up to 287 miles, and with a combined 338 horsepower, the new CHR will do 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds. A Tesla-style NACS charging port is also standard, and Toyota claims it can charge from 10 to 80% in as little as 30 minutes. Expect examples to begin hitting dealer showrooms in March with a starting price of $37,000, not including destination charges. That's quite a bit higher than the old gas-powered CHR, which started under $25,000. And it's even a few $1,000s more than the BZ, even though the BZ is bigger than the CHR. However, the BZ also has another smaller battery and a front-wheel drive option. Hey, we're looking for your feedback in our latest poll. What advice would you give to automakers now that the Trump administration is easing up on MPG requirements and CO2 rules? Would you tell them not to back off emission improvements? Or should they take advantage of this and sell to customer demand? Or should they balance the two options? If you'd like to participate, head on over to our YouTube channel and click on the Post tab and scroll down to find the poll. You can also find it on our Patreon page at patreon.com/Autoline. And we're hoping to get as much input as possible because we'll go over the results on Autoline After Hours this afternoon. Joining John and Gary is Greg Migliore, the host of the Auto Guide podcast, and Henry Payne, the car critic for the Detroit News. In addition to the CO2 talk, they'll get into the news of the week, as well as whether automakers are wasting their time and money on racing. So, join us live at 3 p.m. Eastern Time today on our website or YouTube channel. That wraps up today's show. Thanks for watching.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. CSP, the composites solution partner. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering, boost your game. And thanks to the following YouTube and Patreon members.
Developing today's vehicles. Issues can happen in an instant. When's the best time to solve a problem? The minute you know you have one. Meet Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your secure, off-the-shelf solution empowering real-time collaboration for quick resolution. With Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your team can prevent issues before they can escalate. Driver communication data and remote diagnostics to analyze and resolve your problems using OTA, allowing your executives oversight throughout the process. Wireless NeoVi Cloud, your vehicle update solution in production and on the road. Intrepid Control Systems, driven by your data.
At CSP, we work with OEM engineers across the country on their journeys to lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly vehicles. Learn more at thecsp.com.